Greetings, BlazeLeeDragon, and this is a special video. Obviously, with when this is going to be posted, it is October, and it is 2013. So, with that, what's coming up? Everyone's favorite holiday, everyone's favorite time of the year. No, not everybody's favorite, but my favorite, and a lot of people's favorites, but obviously not everybody's. Now, with this, let's talk about the holiday that's coming up. Let's talk about what it is, and how you pronounce it, and what you do, and why you do it. And the reason I think that this is such a neat holiday, and this is so much fun, is it seems to be in multiple cultures. Multiple people seem to celebrate something very similar to this, and many of them do it around the same time. I thought that was kind of interesting. So let's first talk about the word itself. So, Samhuinn. Samhuinn. The interesting thing about the way it's pronounced is it's actually a Scottish Gaelic word, apparently. And the MH actually makes a W sound. Or if it's at the end of the word, apparently makes a V sound. Go look it up. Go use your webfoo. Research that. See how you speak Old Gaelic. So, the proper pronunciation, as close as I can get it, not being of Scottish heritage or being able to read necessarily without looking up online. Okay, let's see. How do you pronounce this word? Multiple websites. Okay. Most of them are saying this, that's what I'm going to go with. So from what I understand, and from the books that I have on it, apparently it's pronounced Samhuinn. Samhuinn. Now, you will hear other pronunciations, such as Samhuinn. You'll also hear Samhain, or I think I've heard Samhain, or Samhain. There's many different pronunciations. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what you call it. If it feels right and that's what you want to refer to it as, go for it. But from what I understand, and the way that I prefer to pronounce it, is Samhuinn. Samhuinn. Now, of course, there's also multiple spellings for it, too. You will see some people spell it Samhain. But then, of course, you will see the, from what I understand, the older, more traditional way, and at least in my book, is Samhuinn. Now, what day is Samhain? Now, this is the interesting thing. A lot of individuals assume, oh, it's October 31st. Actually, it's not. It's actually November 1st, and it's usually celebrated at midnight. So, okay, October 31st, it's dark, you get together, you start celebrating, and it hits midnight, and it goes to November 1st. Technically, it's both days. Depends on how you want to view it. But in all technicality, October 31st would be Samhain Eve, and of course, November 1st would be Samhain itself. So, why do we do Samhain? Well, there's numerous reasons to do it, but it all comes down to your ancestors, your heritage, where you come from, people who have died and that you want to honor. And there's many ways to do this. Some people will do rituals, some people will give offerings to the fire, some people will say prayers, and some people will light candles for the dead and the dearly departed. They'll put up pictures, some people will sing songs, some people will put out plates of food for those individuals, some leave them outside and let animals eat them, some of them will leave them in the house, just set the plate, and take it outside afterwards. There's many ways that you can honor those who have come before you. Some individuals will also just honor someone, not necessarily in their own bloodline and family, but someone that they cared about, a famous musician or a famous actor, whatever the case may be, that really was inspirational for them. They'll honor them on that day as well. Now, the thing that I was saying that I thought it was interesting is this actually translates into many different cultures. There is a South American tradition, which is called Day of the Dead, and that apparently, from what I understand, briefly browsing the internet with my webfoo, apparently that's also on November 1st. Then, of course, there is also Halloween. Everyone's heard of Halloween, which apparently is, of course, a Christian version of it, which supposedly, from what I understand, Halloween itself basically means Hollow Evening. So it's like a whole evening, All Saints' Day, all those. That's the Christian version of this, and I don't know necessarily which one came first. From what I understand, it's supposed to be Samhain. Who knows? Let's not argue about it. Point is, Halloween, some people will keep that tradition alive of honoring the dead. Obviously, a lot of people just dress up in costumes and pass out candy. There's an interesting tradition that I was reading about. Apparently, people would go door to door in masks and sing songs for food, and there's different things that you can do like that, which is just fascinating stuff to read about. Definitely worth checking out books, browsing some articles online. Definitely cool stuff to read about. Even in the Hindu religion, I think it's interesting that they actually, one of the individuals that I work with who's Hindu, I was talking to her at work, and she says that they also honor their dead loved ones, but they do it on the day that they die. So instead of on November 1st or October 31st, they will actually do it the day they die on their death date. So, but they'll do the same thing, light candles, and they'll have the pictures and set up the plate of food for them and leave it outside. So I just thought that was interesting that most of our society, or many of the societies that at least the ones that I've mentioned, I know it's a small portion, that it's neat to honor not only where you come from and your heritage and your bloodline, but people you loved and you knew. That's neat that we still have some form of respect for that stays alive today. So hopefully you have a wonderful Samhain evening and season and all that fun stuff, and hopefully you can do some great fun activities. Feel free to post comments below saying what you do, or if you want to make a video response, go for it. As always, thumb up, like, subscribe. I'm BlazeLeeDragon, and thanks for watching.